Hello and welcome back to the channel where once again it's time for some more pickups. It is the 8th of July as of recording the first part of this video. And we're actually going to start off by recapping something I bought last month because I bought Gran Turismo Concept 2002 from World of Books. But actually when I inspected the disc further, there was actually a scratch going through the disc. Now I didn't notice it, but when you put the disc in, it doesn't load past the first screen. I've not actually got the game to show you, but what I did do was contact World of Books and they have supposedly sent me a replacement copy because apparently they have more copies in stock. Now I do still have the Gran Turismo game. It's actually in my bedroom at the moment by the PS2 where I tested it. So let's... Okay, that is not what I thought. That is a copy of Gran Turismo Sport, a game which I did actually order at the very start of the month, and that was actually going to be the second thing I was going to talk about, because when I ordered Gran Turismo Sport, it was described as Gran Turismo Sport Steelbook Edition. They had three separate listings. They had the Gran Turismo plastic case hits version, I think that was like £18, the Steelbook, which was listed at £8.49, and then the Steelbook, but with a picture of the Steelbook, which was a ridiculous price, like 30 something pounds or something. I picked the one that said it was the Steelbook that was £8.49. They sent me this, a copy of Gran Turismo Sport with a completely smashed case at the bottom like this. I emailed them about this and they said, oh, we don't guarantee what version of a game you're going to get. They've all got the same barcode, so it's pot luck. Even though they've got separate listings. So they said, I've issued you a refund. Thank you. I said, can't you just send me a copy of the Steelbook? You've got the Steelbooks listed separately. They insisted they don't, and that they're all under the same barcode, and that you can order them and you may randomly get one, you may randomly not. I think the person who I was speaking to didn't really have much knowledge about video games, so they told me they were refunding me for that. I haven't actually checked my bank to see if the money's gone back in, but obviously they've sent me another copy of Gran Turismo Sport instead, and it's not the Steelbook, so that's strange. It is the right game. The disc looks fine. That copy there, the broken copy, did actually work. So I put it in my PlayStation to see. So don't really know what I'm going to do with that. Obviously, that's not the Steelbook edition anyway. And actually, I didn't realize when Gran Turismo Sport came out, it had a standard version. There was a Steelbook and there was a limited edition as well. And I've actually ordered a limited edition of it off eBay. I think I got somebody to sell it me for £5.50 with postage. So I think it was £8.50. That's not come yet. I only bought that yesterday or earlier on today. I can't remember. So that'll be coming at some point, which will feature, I guess, at some point in this video. Now, moving that aside, I have got two pickups from CEX in Hereford. The first one is Gran Turismo 5 Prologue. This is only £1. Like I said, I'm going to review every single Gran Turismo game that I can on the channel. Now, I have access to every single one with the exception of the PSP Gran Turismo. I have played that and completed it and played it to death when it came out on the PSP, but I don't have a PSP anymore. And I don't really want to try and use an emulator to review it. I don't like doing that. So I'll probably review every single one with the exception of that. I actually bought this on release day when it first came out, but I must have sold it at some point. But again, it'll be interesting to go back and give that a blast. And for £1, it doesn't really matter if I don't play it much. Even if I just play it enough for the review, £1, it's not too much of an outlay, shall I say. Now, moving on to the final game of my first lot of pickups, it is James Bond Codename Robocop. Now, this game seems to have been released over and over again on all the different formats under the sun. I actually got it when it originally came out on the Master System, and I played this game loads, and I genuinely thought it was a fantastic game back then. Now, if I remember rightly, it then got re-released on the PS1, and it got re-released on the PS2 as well. This is in pretty nice condition. This was £4. The only downside, I say, is there's a little dent in the back of the case. So it's got a minor rip. You can't really tell, but for £4, I'm not too bothered anyway. But I definitely think this was probably the best James Bond game that came out. So that is the first lot of pickups for this month. So time for the second part of this month's pickups. And the first one is the thing I mentioned in the first part of the video. It is the Gran Turismo Sport limited edition that I got off eBay for around about £8.50, I think. It's actually in pretty good condition as well. It's nothing too exciting, really. It's basically just the standard copy of the game with this silver wallet, and it comes with a variety of cards with it that are actually really nice. They're really good quality. They're actually quite nice in general. You do only get 3, but you know what? I think it's quite nice to have these kind of limited editions or collector's editions that fit on the shelf in with your normal games. They're actually pretty good. Now the copy that was actually in here was actually all messed up. The sleeve had come out and it was all pretty much worn away and knackered, so I actually swapped it with the one that World of Books sent me as a freebie for the replacement of Gran Turismo 2002 Concept. And speaking of that, I actually managed to speak to someone from World of Books yesterday, and they're actually going to replace the copy of Gran Turismo Concept now. So obviously I bought that, it didn't work. They sent me a copy of Gran Turismo Sport by mistake as a replacement, but I get to keep that, and they're sending me the replacement copy of Concept as well, and it's actually gone up in price since I first bought it. So win-win, I guess. I actually stuck the other copy of Gran Turismo Sport on Vinted. Now, something a little bit more interesting. It's a CEX Roulette, a massive box like this. Now, this isn't an expensive thing. I think it was £12, and the reason I ordered it was because on the website it's a big box version of a game and an attachment. It's a Wii game. I can't actually remember what it's called. I bought it simply because I'd had it on a notification to say when it was back in stock from when I was looking at Wii games ages and ages ago, and it came in stock last week, sort of like mid-July as of recording this. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to order it. Now, I was fully anticipating just to get the game in the normal box and the attachment sent separately. And that could still be the case because I think the attachment is fairly long. But I've got this quiet level of optimism that I'm actually going to get the big box version, which is what I wanted. That's specifically why I ordered it, because I thought it looked quite cool. It would be nice. It's just one of those nice things to have on display. If it is just the game with an attachment for the Wii remote, then I will probably send it back, in all fairness. I've got absolutely no idea if the game's any good. I do know that it's like a light gun kind of shooter game, I think, which is why it came with a gun attachment. So let's see if it is the big box version. Just having a feel on the top, it looks like this. It's really well packed. So, and this stuff's always useful because whenever I sell stuff, I can get rid of it. Is it? No, it's not. It is just the game with the attachment separately. So I will probably send it back because it's not really worth it, I don't think, to be honest. I think the game's pretty cheap. The game is North American Hunting Extravaganza. Never heard of it. No idea if it's any good. I think this is a German release copy. Now, I think the big box version is one of these ones. A lot of the big box versions tended to be these ones, like an EU copy. It's still got English text on the back as well as all the other languages. I've no idea if it's any good. So, is it complete? It is. The manual's been creased and bent over, but it does have the manual. What's the disc look like? The disc is actually pretty good. Probably hardly been played, which probably tells me it's probably not that good. Now let's look at the attachment. I'll get the box out of the way. Ooh, just whack the camera, I think then. Oh dear. Whack the camera. Whack the camera then a little bit. There's the attachment. Let's have a look. It is wrapped up quite a lot. A lot. That's what I should say. A lot, a lot. Not sure it smells too good either. And there you have the attachment right there. Gun for Wii, it says on the side. Imp Tech. Now, I've no idea if this is the actual one that comes with the game. I'm assuming it is. And then it's got like, oh dear. That is absolutely terrible to hold. Oh no, wait, it moves down a little bit like that. So, and then you pull the trigger, which activates the gun once the gun is sat in there. Undecided whether I'm going to keep that, because I kind of wanted it in the big box to display it as well. This, I don't know, just a little bit irritating when they've obviously got it on the website as the big box, and that's what they show it as, and then they've just sent you the game with a gun attachment. And without the box, doesn't really, it's not worth it, because I'm pretty sure a generic gun attachment like this is really cheap. And that game, I swear that game's only £3 or £4 by itself. And all of a sudden you're thinking, it's not really worth it then. I've only paid £12 for it, so it's not expensive. But when you specifically ordered it because you wanted the big box version and you've just got a gun attachment and the game, and kind of like, if I traded this in and that, I wouldn't get what it would be if it was in the big box. That's the frustrating part. I wouldn't do, because, I don't know. Just a little bit irritating. Anyway, that is it for the second part of the pickups. So on to the next part of the pickups, and I actually came into a £40 gift voucher courtesy of the parents of the children whose class I work in at the primary school that I work at. They'd actually had a collection, given me a voucher, and they'd given the teacher a voucher, and the other teaching assistant who's in there a couple of days a week, they'd given her a voucher as well. I've never had that before in all the years that I've worked at the school, which is an incredibly nice thing to do. And I'd love to say thank you to all the people that contributed, but I don't know which parents it was. And of course, none of those are going to be watching this video anyway. But I decided to spend that voucher at Argos. It was one of these one-for-all vouchers, and a lot of the places you could spend it is like clothes shops and stuff, and not really my cup of tea, but I saw you could spend it at Argos. So guess what? I thought I'd buy some games with it. Now, one of them's not come yet, but I'm pretty excited about that one. It's a game I've wanted for a long time since it came out. It's never gone down in price. And then the day I got this voucher, it went down in price at Argos to $21.99. Now, I'll tell you what game that is when it comes. Hopefully it will come before the end of the month, and I will tag it on to the end of this video, and that will end this video on a high. But the one game I ordered with that game was this Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year edition. Now, people who watch my pickup videos may know 2 or 3 years ago I picked this up on the PS3, and when I picked it up, I didn't know that it was one of these games that was cross-generational, and it came out on the PS3 and the PS4. And the PS3 version's okay, but the performance of the game is not as good as it could be. Yes, this is only £5 CEX, and I paid $9.99 for it new at Argos, but I had the voucher, so I wasn't really spending it, so I thought, why not? It genuinely seems like it would be a good game from what I've played of it on the PS3 version. So I'm assuming the PS4 version is just simply going to be a much better performing game, far less pop-up and much more consistent frame rate. So I'm quite looking forward to getting into that at some point in time. Stick that over there. Now, after I'd ordered that and the other game that's not come yet, I had £8 or £9 left, and I tried to buy one more game off the Argos website that was a home delivery only one, but because I didn't have enough on the voucher, it wouldn't let me pay part voucher and then part debit card. It just wouldn't let me do that. So I went into the store and ordered it from in the store. Now, there was a little bit of a problem. The person that served me messed it up, and he had to cancel it and then do it again separately. But what seems to have happened is that I seem to have been sent 2 copies of the same game. Now, obviously, I didn't pay twice. I just paid, it was £8 2 pence on the voucher, and then I paid £2.29 or whatever it was. This game was £10.49 or £10.99, and this is actually the game that I'm adding to my giveaway pile. What is it? It is Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise. Now, I picked the PS4 version because this one comes with a PS5 upgrade. So it's ideal for somebody if they've got a PS4 or somebody who's got a PS5, because they can use this, put it in, and upgrade to the PS5 version for no extra cost. I could have just got the PS5 version because they had that in stock as well, but I thought actually this one just makes it more suitable for more people as a price. So this is going to be added into my giveaway pile. I obviously own this game myself, and I've probably put in about an hour and a half into it so far, a few months ago admittedly, but I'm not convinced it's going to be my kind of Final Fantasy game. I'm not going to lie, it looks amazing. It obviously PS4 Pro enhanced, it runs at 4K, so it looks absolutely brilliant. But with the style of combat that it's got, it's much more constant, relentless, feels like button mashing kind of action. It's nothing like the Final Fantasy games, obviously, from the previous eras that are my cup of tea. And just in case you were wondering, yes, in the other box, it was indeed a second copy. So they sent me 2 copies. I only paid for one. I might just put both of these in the giveaway pile, or I might stick this one on Vinted or something and try and sell it. I don't know. It's not an expensive game, so probably won't be that easy to try and recoup £10 or so on it. So for now, it will probably just stay in the giveaway pile. We got one more game from this lot of pickups, and in theory, it should be my replacement copy of Gran Turismo 2002 Concept on the PS2. I'm just hoping it's not a platinum copy. It's not. It is there. So hopefully this copy will work. I did try my other copy again. I cleaned the disc relentlessly, and I actually managed to get onto the main menu this time. But as soon as I tried to go on a race, it just froze and I couldn't do anything. I'm going to inspect this disc properly this time. This disc looks genuinely better. When I looked at the other one properly, it has a lot of little scratches around the edge and a couple of scratches across the game. Now, I wouldn't have said they would stop a PS2 game playing, but they did for that one for some reason. So maybe one of them is just slightly deeper than the rest. But this version of the game looks absolutely fine. And I am quite looking forward to playing this, to be fair. I've played Gran Turismo 1 and Gran Turismo 2 to death recently. So it'll be good to get on to the PS2 ones. That is it for these pickups. Hopefully, I will be tagging on one more pickup to the end of this video. So the very last pickup of the month is that game I mentioned from Argos. Got it today, the 30th of July, right at the very end of the month. And that game is none other than Gran Turismo 7. I've been waiting to get this game ever since it came out, but I've never seen it go down in price anywhere. I'm not saying it hasn't, but I've never noticed this less than full price ever on PS4 or PS5. Obviously, I don't own a PS5. But it finally went down to $21.99 at Argos, so I thought, yes, now is the time to get it because I want it whilst the servers are up, because as I found out with Gran Turismo 6 recently and all the servers are shut down, it's definitely not as easy to play without the servers up. So I'm hoping that will still be fine for Gran Turismo 7. Obviously, it's probably been out like 2.5 years now maybe, but it's been a full price game for so long. It is PS4 Pro enhanced, so hopefully it will be slightly better for me owning a PS4 Pro. An interesting thing, it says it only has over 400 cars on it, whereas Gran Turismo 5 and 6, I think both had over 1,000 on it. So that's a massive difference. And this takes up 110 gigabytes of storage on the PS4 as well. So that is that's over 1/10 of the entire storage of a PS4 Pro. So I'm probably going to have to delete games and stuff just to be able to play this, because I imagine it's going to have a massive initial installation, then a download, then there's going to be updates, I imagine. So it's probably going to need more than 110 gigabytes. But I've got no denying, I've got very high hopes for Gran Turismo 7 to be an amazing game. I've got no reason to think it won't be an amazing game. Surely it must be the best Gran Turismo ever. I've no idea how it progressed from sort of like 5 and 6, but I will obviously find out. So this is my final pickup of the month. Let me know though what your thoughts are on all those pickups this month, which one you think is going to be the best. Obviously, I think it's going to be Gran Turismo 7 by a very long way. Let me know your thoughts down below. Obviously, we've got another game added to the giveaway pile in Stranger of Paradise, and that is it for this month's pickup. So like always, I'll be back with another pickup video at the same time next month. Goodbye for now.